What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be discussing Paladins ranked and everything that goes alongside it, whether that's matchmaking, the map rotations, the people, and the stuff that happens in ranked games. We're going to be talking about it all and kind of ways how to fix ranked, because we're halfway through season 3 or season 4 or whatever it is right now. So with the next season, really hoping some of these, at least a few of these changes and some of these suggestions will actually be implemented into ranked, because right now ranked, I think, is probably the worst it's ever been. I'm legit telling you guys that is probably the worst it's ever been. But I'm gonna get into some of these reasons here as the video goes on. If you guys like me to do these types of videos and you guys want me to do more of these types of videos, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing the video. It really helps me out. And I really like all the support and appreciate it all. Thank you guys so much. I don't even know where to start. I really don't. Like, if you guys don't know as well, like, I live stream ranked. I live stream Paladins ranked, and at least when I'm recording this, like, we've had like the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. I think we've had some of the worst ranked games we've had in a long time. And it's not really because I play bad, it's just mainly because, like, ranked is just bad itself. That's what it really boils down to. And I think right now, it just needs an overall, like, an absolute overhaul. That's the problem with ranked. Like, everything needs to be overhauled. And hopefully for the next season, they actually take a look at ranked. And if you're one of the devs and you happen to be recommended this video, or somebody tells you to watch this video, hopefully you stay here for the entire video, because at least some of these suggestions hopefully help you out and give you at least some ideas on where to go with ranked, because it's off right now. Like, especially as a solo queue player, that's the main thing from this video. I play on console, I don't play on PC. Maybe it's different on PC, I have no idea, and that's going to be out of my discussion because I don't play on PC. But this is from a console player itself, and somebody that solo queues the majority of the time. Once in a while, I'll hop into a party, like a duo or maybe even a trio, and we'll go hit the ladder for like an hour or two, or a couple days a week or something. But like, at least recently and over the last couple months, it's mainly been solo queue, and it's kind of really bad right now. So, like I said, if you guys are at my streams, you guys know how bad it is, that we experience it live on stream. Like, there's always something, no matter what it is, with ranked. I don't know about you guys, but I play ranked. I don't give a shit about my rank. I really don't. I've got 5,000 hours into the game right now. I've been to Diamond 1 before. I was almost Masters at one point. I think it was either Season 2 or the season after that. It was really towards the end of the season. I just didn't have time to grind there. I probably would have been Masters if I would have. But I legit, the majority of the time, I solo queued my way almost up to Masters at one point. There's no reason for me to get Masters anymore. And it really doesn't mean anything getting a high rank either. It really doesn't, which I'll talk about as well. But that's just kind of where it is. Like, the reason why I play ranked is for the entertainment value, because I stream the game. As a content creator, I stream the game. And I play ranked because I think ranked over casuals should have the better games, because casuals, you can pick whatever you want. You get paired against whoever. Everybody just plays whatever they want. They don't care. They don't care if they lose. They don't care if they win. You think it would be different, but I think casual matches are somehow better than ranked matches, which is really ass backwards. It really is. Like, I don't know how casual games usually end up being better than ranked games, especially when ranked, there's stuff on the line for actually winning and losing. You got TP on the line. You got your rank on the line. If you don't have the ranked reward, which is, I guess, if you want to win games, that's also on the line to win games, which they actually finally changed just this season to win games, not play games. I don't know. Like, it really doesn't mean anything anyways, because you have, 300 days to grind ranked. Like, it's almost impossible not to get the ranked reward. It doesn't mean anything anyways. It's a shitty skin. That's all it really is. I don't know. like right here is where I'm going to get into like how you can really fix ranked. I think it needs an entire overhaul. Ranked needs an entire overhaul, and this is how you kind of get into it right here. Like, it should be more based off, you can have it both based off of individual performance and team performance. Right now, it is just purely based off of team performance, meaning the main problem with ranked right now, which there's a slew of other problems, but this is one of the main ones, is that if I play my ass off, I go 25-3 with like Andro, Maeve, or like even as like a support, like I do really well, and I barely die. Like I have like 200k heals, but then the rest of my team does nothing but feed and like throw the entire game. But I'm the only good one on my team. I still lose just as much TP, and I still take a loss, but I did insanely good just for the sheer fact that I was on the losing team. Now, I'm not saying that we should not lose TP for being on the losing team. That's not what I'm saying. We should still lose some TP. If you really want to keep the TP system, that's one thing we should do. But if you do insanely good in your match, compared to everybody else on your team, they should lose more TP than you. That's what it comes down to. So everybody else that went like 0-20 or whatever and just fed the entire game, but you did really well, they should lose like double the amount of TP, even maybe sometimes triple the amount, depending on how bad they did compared to you. If you did really good in your ranked game, you should still lose TP, but you should not lose as harshly as the people on your team that did way worse than you. That makes it at least give you more, at least like solo carry potential. Not really like carry potential, but like encourages players to do well. Because right now the thing lacking with ranked is it's purely team based. There is no reason, especially if you're solo queuing, that you really think about your team. At least for me, I usually pick for myself because I don't trust my team at all. Unless you're in a party, then you can probably change that for something else. Like, you can have something for solo queue, you can have something for being in a party. Maybe that would go away if you're in like a duo or like more than a 3 stack and with 3 players. Maybe that type of stuff would go away because half your team is all in a party anyways, and that could maybe go away. So it's technically, if you lose, you'd all lose the same amount no matter how good you did or whatever, since you're technically in a party. Maybe that's something you can implement. I don't know. But right now, I think there should be more stuff based off of like individual and team performance. Which team performance you can still, which is pretty much winning. Winning as a team gives you TP, and depending on how good you do, you should get more or less. If you win, you'll still gain some, depending on what you do. But if you do really good on your team, you should be promoted, and you should be encouraged to do really good. That's one thing that ranked is lacking right now, and that's why you're seeing people just throw games, feed in their matches, throw in the draft phase, go AFK, close the game mid-match because they end up losing after 5 minutes and the game is pretty much done. I think that would be one thing that really helps. Like, look at Apex Legends. Look at Apex Legends. Their rank system is a little bit different. It actually costs points to enter a ranked game. So at each tier of rank, like bronze is free, silver it takes 12 points to enter a game, and then depending on how you do into the game, like on so forth and so up, it doubles the amount of points that it takes to actually enter a ranked game. And if you don't do well, you get minus points. But if you do well, you'll get actually added a bunch of points, and you actually get closer to ranking up. So, like, Apex is way more based off of doing good and playing as a team. That's kind of what Apex is based around, which I like way better than the Paladins matchmaking system right now. Or at least like the ranks, not really matchmaking, but like the ranked system. Overall, it's really bad. It's really bad. Like, it needs to be entirely reworked. Like, this is just an idea. I don't know how like the devs or anything would go about doing this. I'm sure it would take a huge amount of time to overhaul ranked. Hopefully they're already, as we speak, already planning on reworking ranked in some way. Because I think with the next season dropping, we need some changes because it's god awful. It really is. Like, ranked is god awful. And you compare it to a lot of these other games, especially like Apex. I'm going to make a lot of comparisons to Apex because I think at least their ranked format is really solid. and it's really straightforward and easy to understand, and you know what you're supposed to do with ranked, at least for Apex Legends. I think it's overall really, really solid, and that's why a lot of people like it, at least as like a ranked format. It promotes you doing good, and it also promotes you playing as a team. It does both things. It does both things. Right now, the main thing Paladins only does is it gives you win or loss, and it minuses you or adds you if your team wins or losses. Not based on how your team does, or anybody on your team specifically does. It only counts as a team. So that's the main problem right now. I don't know if there's probably going to be somebody in the comments that has some rebuttal towards that change. I don't know. Maybe there's some drawbacks that I'm just not seeing. If that's the case, let me know in the comments down below. But I think rank should be more like individual based and then team based, just because right now, like, there's just no reason to really solo queue. Like, solo queue is awful, especially like I said, if you go like 25-3, but like the rest of your team does nothing but feed free kills the entire game, then you'll still lose like minus 15 or whatever, even though you did insanely good and you were the best one on your team. I don't know. Like, you can single-handedly like carry ranked games and then still be punished for doing really well. That's the main thing I'm trying to get at. And I'm gonna move on to the next thing, like which is the matchmaking. Like, the matchmaking is god awful. Another thing, if you guys have seen me on streams, I actually implemented like a matchmaking type, like a viewer, because I can actually bring it up on the stream guide right now. I actually changed it a couple days ago. I can actually bring it up on the stream so you guys can all see, that whoever watches the stream, what we're being paired against and what we're being paired with. Why am I being paired when I'm a Platinum 3 and Platinum 4 player? Why am I being paired with silvers and bronze players? Can somebody please tell me why I'm being paired with silver and bronze players, but then the enemy team has an entire team of golds and a bunch of platinum players, and I'm the only platinum on my team? Can somebody please tell me that? Or I have like an entire team of people that are doing their placements, and then I'm getting paired with like against a team of like high platinum and diamond players. Can somebody please tell me what considerations the matchmaker really takes into consideration when making these games? And then you'll also have games where you go from playing with silvers and then going against a team of golds and platinums and being stuck with silvers to queuing, and then your next game you're gonna be going against grandmasters and masters players, and then being paired with like 1 or 2 grandmasters, and then the rest of everybody else on their team is either platinum or gold players. So you'll have games with like 1 or 2 grandmasters or like a master player on each side, and then a bunch of gold players. So it just comes down to which team can just feed the most kills and kill like the gold players the most and just steamroll the game that way. It's not really even competitive. Everybody just goes after the bad players and the players that aren't really on par with the ranks that everybody else has. That's happened plenty of times. I might actually even throw up some screenshots on screen. I don't know, but if I do, then you guys can check out the screen right now. I might have some up already, but if not, then there's plenty of examples. Just stop by my streams. Stop by my Paladins rank streams, and you guys will find out, I'm sure. And like, I really don't know. Like, what it really bases off. Like, they said they even fixed matchmaking like a patch or 2 ago. They made it so it would be a little bit more accurate. If anything, I think matchmaking has gotten worse. It seems to get worse every single patch this year. I don't think it's ever been the worst it's been right now. I think it's never been as bad as it is right now. Maybe that's because I've been solo queuing a lot more. I used to play in a party a lot more back in the day, but like over the last year and a half, like I've solo queued a lot more, like majority of the time anyway, so it shouldn't really matter. I don't know. And then another thing too, like I'm a solo queuer. Like if I'm solo queuing, why does the matchmaker put me against 3, 4, even sometimes 5 stacks? Why am I being paired against an entire party of players that are all in the same party and probably on comms, probably in the chat, and probably all playing like in a specific group? Why am I being paired against 3 to 5 stacks in my ranked games? It's fine if I go against a duo, I don't mind. I'll go against 1 or 2 duos every once in a while I'm solo queuing. That's fine. But why am I being paired against 3 or 4, even 5 stacks when I'm solo queuing ranked, because those games are always stomps. Every single time the matchmaker pairs you against a 3 to a 5 stack, you usually lose. And that's just the reason, because they're on comms, they have better communication, and they know what they're doing. And then you got your team, which is a bunch of like the 5 stooges. Everybody's just running around with their head cut off, and they just completely destroy you in like 5 minutes. So, like, you have dodgers, like, you have people that'll dodge games. I don't know why people go into games too. Like, why would you even queue ranked if you just dodge your games? There's some times where you can actually dodge your game and it's warranted, but 90% of the time, if you queue ranked and you waste my time, I get pissed. The ranked lobbies take forever. I don't know why it pairs people with that'll just leave your game. You should be, I wouldn't say really punished for dodging, but I think you should have a certain number of times that you can actually leave a ranked lobby per day or something like that. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I don't know. Like, if the matchmaking was better, people wouldn't have to dodge. That's the problem. Like, I don't know how you fix that either. It just comes down to the sole thing of matchmaking being a piece of garbage, and that's the reason why we have so many dodgers as well. You go into a ranked queue, and then you'll be sitting in the champion select lobby for 5 minutes, only for your last pick to end up just dodging the game and waste 5 minutes of your time. So maybe if we actually had good matchmaking, that would be something that we could actually get rid of. I don't know. Another thing too, I think would make ranked way more interesting is the map rotations. Right now, they have, I think, 5 or 6 siege type maps, or like ranked maps in the rotation, and then they take out 2 maps every split or whatever. I think if they want to make ranked, and if one of the devs wants, if you guys want to make ranked a lot more serious and a lot more competitive, why don't we put in daily map rotations? Why don't we put in 2 maps per day, and every 24 hours the maps switch out? So we constantly, every week, we have 2 maps per day that are constantly rotating with new maps every single day of the week. I think that would make it a lot more fresh, and it would give people a lot more reason to play, especially with being like fresh maps, not having to see the same map every single day. I think that would be really cool. That's something at least I want. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a great idea. Like, rotating the maps, even like every other day. Like, you can have it for like 2 days, maybe like 2 maps every 2 days, and just after 2 days rotate it out. Like, you can do it a number of ways, but I think every 24 hours would be really good. Just switch out the maps, have them in a constant rotation, a constant loop, so they switch out every 1 day. That would be really cool. I don't know. And then you have these people that are over here, like, bragging about their ranks. Like, if you're somebody at the end of the season that's bragging about your rank, please just stop. Please just stop. Don't brag about your border. Don't brag about your title. Don't brag about, like, whatever. I did this, blah, blah, blah. I went to Masters. It's easy, bro. It's easy, bro. Ranked is a joke. If you get to Masters, if you get to Grandmasters, you can get as high as the moon, and you can probably go up and touch the moon, and you can climb all the way up to the fake fucking moon, and you can touch that, and nobody would fucking care if that was a rank as well. Nobody would care. That's how nobody gives a shit about ranked. Ranked is a fucking joke. The problem with ranked as well is that there's this lack of rewards and lack of incentive to get a higher rank. Pretty much all having a high rank really does just either means that A, you got carried there by like 3 or 4 of your buddies, and you got carried all the way up to Diamond by your buddies. And then usually when people get to Diamond, they kind of flounder because they have to either duo or solo queue, and they're not that type of player because they got carried to Diamond. And you have people that are bragging, oh, I made it to Diamond, y'all. I made it to Diamond. And then in reality, you play against them, and they play like they're like legit like a gold 3 or like a gold 5 type player, but they're somehow in Diamond. And you have the people that make Smurf accounts. They'll have like 10 accounts, and then they'll go back to like silver players, and they'll brag about, oh man, I got through silver in like 1 day, bro. I don't know how you guys struggle with silver and gold. I got through silver in like 24 hours, bro. That rank's a joke. I wonder, because you're a grandmaster on your main account, but you're over here making a Smurf account for no reason. trying to re-rank up for, I don't even know why. Why do people make Smurfs? I have no clue. I don't know. All it does is screw up the matchmaking. I think that would be another thing too. Getting rid of Smurf accounts. That should be a bannable offense. Maybe if they got rid of Smurfs, that would make the matchmaking a lot better too. You have somebody that's in your gold game, and then their reality, they're actually like a Masters player, but they're on a Smurf account, so they just destroy the lobby. That should be like a bannable type offense. That really should. I think that would make matchmaking better too. But there shouldn't be any reason that you're bragging that you're on a Smurf account and you're able to stomp through gold in like a day or two. That's not an accomplishment. That just makes you seem really pathetic and have absolutely no life, and just means that you can't actually play with people in your own rank. So you have to make an entire new account to actually rank up through ranked, and because you can't actually play against people in your own ranked games. So I don't know. Like, I just wish there was like more rewards too. Like, we have the Torvald skin. We had a Sweet Shop Eevee, which was the ranked reward. I think before that we had Vivian. What was it? Full Throttle Vivian. We had a title. Like, they do give us avatars and like a gold chest every split. That's fine. I'm not complaining about that. What I'm complaining about is the lack of rewards for getting a high rank, or like a reward to play ranked. One skin over an entire season is not enough incentive to play ranked, especially with how bad the skins are. I feel like the Torvald skin was just a skin that they threw into the ranked, like the ranked reward, because everybody was complaining for a Torvald skin, and they kind of just threw it in there to make people happy and just give people a reason to hopefully play ranked a little bit more, at least at the start of the season. I can't tell you guys. I don't know. I don't know what they would really add. Like, what are some ideas? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, what would you guys add as like a reward apart from a skin? I think the skins should be way better. I think there should be like an exclusive ranked reward skin that's legit way better than what they've been giving us over the last couple seasons. The Torvald skin right now we have is good. The voice pack is good. The skin is awful itself. It looks like shit. Sweet Shop Eevee was only given to us as like a pity type skin because everybody was complaining about no Eevee skin. That's the only reason they gave that to us. I guarantee you we probably would have had way different skin for the last season's ranked reward, because that was kind of just a pity type skin. They threw it into the ranked reward because they would be able to give it out for free, and they just don't think they can make money off of Eevee skins. That's the only reason they gave it to us. There you go. And then we had Full Throttle Vivian, which I'm not really sure how that one really went about. At that point, I was first starting to get into the game. Around that, I think it was season 2 or whatever. I think it was. So I think that might have been either season 1 or season 2. I forgot if that was season 1 or season 2 skin, but whatever. For what it is, it's okay. Back then it was only get to gold 5, and that's what you needed to get the skin. Now they changed it like 2 times. Before it was play ranked games, which just encouraged throwers and people just going into ranked just to play games and get that done so they can get the skin. And then for this season they changed it to get ranked game wins for like, I think it's 100 wins or something. And it hasn't really done anything else either. It's still just the same. Still just as bad, if not worse. Like, you can't tell me like a border too. Like, a border for the ranked tier you're in, like Diamond, Platinum, Gold, Master, Grandmaster. A border and a loading frame is not enough. Not enough as a reward. And then I think this season they have titles as well. So if you get to Masters, it'll give you like a Season 4 Master title, or like a Season 4 GM title. That's not enough either. Like, there is not enough incentive to go into ranked and fucking grind ranked right now. That's one huge problem. If you guys got some ideas down below, because I really don't have any ideas on what they really could add to like give us some more incentive to actually grind ranked, like rewards wise. All I have is really give us some better skins, because the skins we've gotten so far over all the seasons have been really bad. Give us some better skins. If you guys got any ideas, let me know in the comments down below. But we need some better rewards. Like, there's just not much incentive to grind ranked. And the only reason people grind ranked is mainly just for game. At least for me, it's just to find good games and like put out entertaining type content and like entertaining streams. I can't really even do that by solo queuing because it's so bad right now. So that's just kind of where we're at. And if you're like a high rank to like Just because you're a high rank, like, it doesn't mean you play like a high rank. It really doesn't. Probably like 90% of the games you tried getting into a ranked game, you probably dodged. That's usually like a lot of the Masters players and a lot of the Grandmaster players. Look at how many times they've deserted their ranked games. Go onto their profile if it's public, look up their profile, and it'll say how many times they've deserted their ranked matches in the lobby phase, in the champion select screen phase. I guarantee you, every single person that's in the GM or Masters players has had that at least a couple hundred times. Couple hundred to even probably thousands of times. They've dodged games and they've dodged lobbies just to get there because they just don't play the game. They refuse to play a bad game, and it should not be that way. That should be a thing that should not happen. It gives them an advantage over all of us, too. It really does. The people that just don't care, just play ranked for what it is. There's another thing, too, which I like to call the List of Doom. If you guys don't know the List of Doom, and if you guys don't watch my streams, I pretty much go through it the entire time on stream. Like, these last couple of days, we've been going through the List of Doom. What we do, what you guys do, and what everybody probably happens, I don't know if you guys have had this happen too, but you take a dice roll. Every time you get into a lobby, right now with how bad it is, you take a dice roll. And you throw down a dice, and it's either one of these options. You'll get a thrower. Somebody that legit queues ranked just to throw their game. That is how they get their sick kicks, is by queuing ranked and losing their team a game. That is the definition of a thrower. That is option number 1 that you can roll on your dice. Option number 2 is a troll. A guy that doesn't know what he's doing. He'll intentionally do stupid stuff and get himself killed randomly. Throw out bad alts on purpose. Like, there's a whole list of stuff what it kind of qualifies as like a troll. But number 2 is a troll. That's option number 2. Every time you go into a ranked game, that's one of the options you'll get. And then you'll get a bot, which is really common right now too. Even with being able to see a bot, like I say, like at least half the time you queue into a ranked game, either the enemy team or your team will have a bot. Whether that's for the entire game or like the first 5 minutes, it usually depends. But usually you'll end up getting a bot in one of your ranked games, which sucks, and it pretty much loses you the game. If they do not return within the first 5 minutes, it's pretty much a free win. Unless your team is just god-awful bad, or you yourself on your team also have a bot, then you usually end up winning those games. Whoever has the bot ends up usually losing, which sucks because it's pretty much a free win. It's an absolute fluke like victory for the other enemy team. And which brings me to another thing. Why don't we have loss forgiveness? If you guys don't know what loss forgiveness is, it's something that is a thing where you don't lose any of your ranked points or your TP if you have somebody leave your ranked game, i.e., or like example, a bot. If you have a bot on your team, you should not lose any ranked points at any point in the game. If they don't return in the first 5 minutes and the game goes past 5 minutes and you lose in 5 minutes, 5 seconds or whatever past 5 minutes, you should not lose any ranked points. There should be a thing in ranked as well called loss forgiveness. So if you have a bot on your team or if you have somebody go AFK and get disconnected, you should not lose any ranked points for that match. The enemy team can still win some, but they just won't win that much. They'll win like 4 or 5 points because it was a stomp game. They shouldn't win that much, no matter how good or how bad they do. They're going to win anyways. There should be a thing implemented to ranked called loss forgiveness, and that would help out with bots and people going AFK and just getting disconnected by staying AFK. I probably should have added that earlier. I thought I'd just bring that up right now because I forgot to talk about that earlier, but like I said, bots. There's option number 3 on the checklist of doom. AFK and spawn, which is another thing. You'll have somebody that'll randomly pick something, and then they'll get pissed at their team halfway through the game because your team isn't doing good enough, or they aren't getting enough heals. They aren't getting enough help on the point. They keep getting destroyed because they play bad. And then they'll say, oh, I'm going AFK. And they'll sit and spawn for the rest of the game, costing you the game and losing you the game. There you go. There's another one. A feeder. If you guys do not know what a feeder is, here's option number 5. A feeder. Pretty much somebody that, whether or not it's on purpose or not, pretty much runs at people and feeds them free kills, i.e. a feeder. That's what that is. You run at somebody and you feed them free kills without pretty much assessing a situation or like strategically trying to go after people. You run after people, whether that's one person, whether that's into a group of 2 or 3 people, and you get instantly killed, and that's called feeding. You'll have people that'll just do that the entire game, and they'll just feed 1 or 2, maybe even like an entire team kills the entire game. Whether that's one person that's constantly killing the same person, or like 1 or 2 people that are constantly killing the same person, it does not matter. That's called feeding. The next thing you'll actually have on the checklist of Doom is a throw pick in the draft phase, meaning, which usually is the last or the second last pick. Usually it's always the last or second to last pick that always throws an entirely good team comp. Meaning, you'll have a team in the draft phase when you're picking your champions to go into a ranked game in the champion select screen. You will have some good picks. Like you'll have a healer, a really good healer. You'll have 2 good tanks, and then the last 2 people will not pick what they're supposed to. They'll pick like emoji as like a last pick, and then they'll pick something else that you don't need. Something that is really bad into the enemy team, or something that you don't need at all, and that's kind of considered a throw pick. And then you pretty much lose the game based off of the draft phase because the enemy team just has a way better team than you, and it's pretty much almost impossible to win because you just don't have what you needed to actually win the game. I'm not saying you lose every single game where people pick badly. You can still win those type of games, but it makes it so much more difficult. And usually when people don't pick correctly or just pick throw picks, like Moji, like random stuff your team doesn't need, doesn't pick a support, doesn't pick a tank, you have 2 flanks, you have no damage on your team, your team picks like 3 tanks, you don't have a support, like anything, whatever like that is. Something like that, which is way too common. Like you can win those games, but the much like 98% of the time, that's usually an instant loss. Like the instant you get into the game, you lose. After you pick those 2 picks, like 1 or 2 picks, it's usually a loss. It's another thing. And then you got the last one, which is probably the most consistent one, is you get screwed by the matchmaker, which I talked about earlier. You'll get paired with silver players. I don't know about you guys, but I'm mid-plat right now. I'm mid-platinum. I'll get paired with like bronze or silver players, and then I'll get paired versus an enemy team that's either like a 3 or a 5 stack. I'll be going against a 5 stack with a bunch of like silver players on my team, and me being like the only platinum player. Or there'll be like something else. Like the enemy team will have an entire team of gold players and like a masters or like a diamond player, and I'll be the only platinum player on my team, and I'll have like 3 silvers, 1 gold, and just me. I don't know. Like that's the most common one, I think. But every single time you queue for a ranked game, you're going to be getting something off the checklist of Doom. That's kind of what it is. There may be a few other options, but those are the main ones. I kind of just threw out the main ones, which is actually 7 options, which is really bad. Really bad odds. And I guess you have the really rare option of actually getting a good ranked game where everybody actually tries. You have a really good game where 2 teams are just duking it out. Both are actually really trying to win. The game is really competitive. It goes to a 3-3 absolute barn burner game. Those games are few and far between, but those are the games I play ranked for. Once in a great while, you will get one of those games, and I love getting those type of games. I don't even care if I win or lose those type of games. If they're really competitive and just 2 teams just duking it out, like fighting for the W, that's usually what it comes down to, and I love those type of games. That's what I play ranked for, at least me personally. It's for the really good competitive games. I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose. I like to win. I still try to win, but you can't win every single game. I understand that. So that's kind of the main reason I'm playing, especially being like a content creator and streaming the game. That's what I want. I want competitive games because that's what people like to see. So people don't like to see like 5-minute stomp games or games that are pretty much already over before you actually load into the match because your team comp is really bad. And then like the enemy team just rolls you in 5 minutes. So I'll also be making like an entire drafting guide. I will eventually be doing that in the future, so I'm sure I'm going to get some comments on that. I will be making an entire like ranked drafting guide to draft like the best team you can and some most common team comps you can build in ranked versus teams. So I will be making that eventually. I just kind of running out of time because I'm going back to work here in a couple of days and I'm just running short on time. So I will do it in the future. I just don't know when. Hopefully sometime soon when I get some more spare time. But as of right now, it's kind of on the back burner and I'm just kind of brainstorming ideas for that type of video. But that's kind of all I got, guys. I know this is a way longer video than I anticipated, but this is one video I've been wanting to make a long time, and I think it's definitely justified. Like, ranked is fucking awful. If you guys have any experiences, like any input or like anything you guys want to say about ranked in the comments down below, please let me know. Please. Hopefully one of the devs, if one of the devs is watching this video, like, please, I'm begging you, just take like one snippet of ideas from this video and at least give it some thought and like implement it somewhere into next season's ranked type system. Like, if you don't plan on overhauling ranks, at least take something else that isn't really as much of a bothersome change, like where it takes way too much to change. It's just really simple, and implement that. Even at the very least, like the daily map rotations, like take that idea, build upon it, or like change it a little bit and give us something of that nature. Like, I don't know, like the main source, like the main type of this video was just kind of brainstorming and giving ideas on how they can change ranked for the better, because right now it's really bad. I think one of the reasons why nobody really plays ranked is because how bad it is. There's just no reason to play it, and you're just putting yourself at like an absolute loss, and you're just going to give yourself a huge headache just queuing for ranked. And I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys like me doing these type of videos, I know this was a longer video, like I said, really long video. I did not expect it to be this long, but leave a like, subscribe, share the video. I do live stream Paladins ranked, so if you guys do not want to miss that, I usually go live usually every night. It might be going a little bit slower here because I'm going back to work in a couple days here after my summer break, so stuff on the channel may be slowing down slightly, but I still should be live at least 3 or 4 times a week. So I also play Apex Legends, Smite, some other stuff, so if you guys are interested in that, feel free to check out the channel. A lot of cool stuff. I do tier lists. I got some tier lists on the channel right now. Top 5s. If that interests you guys, go check out the channel. You guys will not be disappointed. Apart from that, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in a different video and a future video. Thanks for watching.